of people who are still friends from Spifftopia 1 who have just been around for years, and they've formed friendship groups out of the server and things just because they ended up doing farming together, and they ended up playing together and then talking in Discord, and now they've got like a friend group and they play D&D every weekend, or things like that. Like you shouldn't really go into it with I mean, obviously I'm not saying that people aren't going to do that. Obviously people are going to do that, but the more grandiose your ideas, the less flexible you're going to be when you get into the server, the less you're going to take from the event.
You're probably going to have exactly.
You'll have more
fun. That's what it's all about. You're going to have a lot more fun if you go in and see something interesting than try and ham-fist what you already think is interesting happening.
Which is why we describe it as a roleplay server, because that is a core concept of roleplay, is just go with the flow. Figure out as you go. Yes, and.
That's it. That's the role-playing magic. When something happens or someone asks something of you, you say yes, and you add to it. You just keep going. You keep exploring fun ideas, narratives, meeting new characters, telling interesting stories, and having a nice time. That's what it's all about. And if something goes wrong,
MMO elements, but fundamentally it's still roleplay.
Yeah, and if something goes wrong, maybe like, I don't know, a character who you've been very close to dies, or they get blown up by a creeper in an unexpected way right as you're about to do something interesting, that's amazing. That's a great opportunity to continue that the sadness of death or like loss. Like every weird mistake is an opportunity for more continued fun. That's my philosophy.
Yeah. Somebody asked, do skills or Bob of Skegness?
What?
Do skills Bob of Skegness.
Okay. Do skills Bob of Skegness ask?
Do skills / levels continue after your character dies, and or can future characters carry on those skills from the past characters' levels?
No. If you have achieved master rank blacksmith and you die, you've lost your hours of progress. Okay, that is why the dev system is important. That is why your time on the server is important, because there'd be no point if as soon as you achieve master blacksmith, that's it. You've made all the progress you could ever need, and you can just start messing about without a care in the world. No, you need to be valued. Well, you need to value your character, and also the society needs to value you, because you're providing a unique advantage on the server. Like being a master blacksmith might mean you're the best person who could reliably make tools in your local area, and that would be amazing for everyone around you to benefit from your knowledge. If you die, that needs to be a loss for everyone around you, and so that means your skills need to be lost, so that way people can genuinely mourn not just the passing of you the player, but you the player of abilities and knowledge. So there you go. I just got here. How's the test going? Pretty good. We've spun it up a couple of times. We've spun it down a couple of times, and now we're in the process of being spun down and spinning back up, like a yarn on a thread. So I'd recommend going and making yourself a cup of tea, chilling, and getting ready to join and leave as and when we say.
There's a question similar to the one that you just answered, but sort of expands on it. But you can keep talking about it.
I love it.
Is there a level cap on skills, or do they genuinely take that long to train? Would somebody who has miraculously kept the character alive for 4 sessions potentially be able to get 2 maxed skill trees?
It's 100% possible. Yes, completely possible. And the value of that person might be immeasurable.
I have a correction for that answer.
Oh, you have a correction?
You're right. Skill, 1 knowledge.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that having more than 1 knowledge couldn't still be valuable.
Like for example, you could be a master like say forester, but maybe you also then have a decent level of knowledge, say using an iron sword. Like that could be, there's a use case for that. And you being useful. There's an argument that maybe we want to make sure some of the peasants have rudimentary knowledge when it comes to wielding a pitchfork in combat. Like these things could be useful for us as a society if we need to prepare for things like that. So yeah, there you go. Thank you for the correction, though, Connor.
Yeah.
Will the live streams be edited into an epic 1 hour mega video when it's all over? Maybe. We're definitely recording all of the streams as and when they happen. We will probably do something with the footage, but whether it's like split up into lots of little videos or split up into one mega video or split up into individual narratives, we don't know yet. It's very much a we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Okay, there's a question. I don't know if you have the information to answer this because I'm thinking of something specific. But how important is it to scout the area around the starting island? Is there anything valuable?
So the area around the starting island does have various resources that are useful that will take a while to get if they're not found. But there's also there is a limitation of the island itself. There's a lot of people who are like, there's got to be a secret under the island. There is not a secret under the island. It is not worth your time digging down under the island. So yeah, I think there's things to be found. There's also some supplies there at the start, in the form of food and resources for the state guilds. But outside of that, I don't think there's much, right, Connor? There's Easter eggs, but that's about it.
Yeah, no, there's nothing specific, but there may be advantages to exploring outside of the city. There's nothing specific, but I might as well. Shall I just answer it straight?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Certain areas of the world might have higher density of certain materials.
There you go. Perfect.
But there's going to be a lot of trial and error to find out where exactly those areas are and what the borders are and all the features that
determine where and what stuff is. Yeah. I completely forgot we had that as a thing. That's pretty cool. That's pretty good. Someone says, can we eat other players if they die? No, but I really feel like maybe we should have added that. / I'd like to see that in a future iteration.
What was that, sorry?
Titan Timple says, could we eat other people when they die?
Oh, I mean, it would be possible to add rotten flesh when people die.
Exactly, that's my thinking. That would be pretty fun. Also, it would pay the servers back up.
That was in previous iterations, I think. Also, yeah, you could wear other people's skins in CE, which
Jeez,
is pretty intense.
That is very intense. What were the people on CE doing? Oh wow, J-Rod, I love your skin. You've got a great thing going on here. I guess in the server you just look like a regular knight. No one would know that deep down you're actually a kawaii maid knight. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Let's see if I can load on in now. Day 6 of asking God King Spiff what do banks do. I'm not answering that. Find out in the server. I think that's one I've deliberately not answered.
The Go to Cheese asks, because you need someone above you in a skill in order to level up, what would happen if by some horrible accident, everyone who had leveled in that skill had died? How would people level that skill without people above them?
So two things. One, that's working as intended, and the other reason is you can actually self-level. It just takes a significantly longer time. So the reason for that is there needs to be a punishment for a master dying or an apprentice dying, and the punishment might be that for a period of time no one on the server could technically craft a diamond pickaxe. That is an interesting narrative situation that we have to deal with, and it is possible for us to get ourselves out of it. It just takes a big time investment for someone to climb their way up to being master again. Looks like the server has gone down again. So there we go. But yeah, that one looked like it was a regression where you couldn't go from the lobby to the actual limbo and connect to the queue. So it's all good.
Yeah, they're bringing up the log right now.
Cool. Lovely. Are arrows considered weapon crafting? There's no ranged weapons in the start of Spifftopia. There you go. Right, hit me with an important one then, Connor.
Just to temper expectations, because I think lots of the people are making groups in the discussions channel without really understanding how things work.
Yeah.
So it would be worth explaining this more. Is it possible to have a knowledge guild for more than one progression path? Because one of the groups has 100+ members that want to focus on weapons, armor, and toolsmithing, and also jewelry and mining.
Okay, anything else they want to throw in there?
Bonus? Yeah, exactly. Basically everything. Okay. Would you be able to have the guild bonus for each profession, if we had a council or group of several masters leading? Or would they need to break into several guilds with a shared name if they want to stay together?
Oh wait, people can't actually hear Connor. Is that genuinely a thing? Yeah, there's people in the live chat, the stage chat, who say they can't hear Connor.
You were going
Someone
to
say I can hear
sometimes.
Yeah, people can hear. Okay, I imagine that's just a Discord thing, right?
I think it's just Discord being bullshit.
Yeah, that's just Discord. Cool. If you can't hear Connor, just Discord, leave and rejoin. So yeah, to answer that question, a player guild can only have one knowledge focus, and also player guilds have caps.
Can I just interject a second?
Go for it. Yep, interject. Sorry.
We need to keep calling them character guilds, because I feel like it's misleading to call them player guilds.
Sorry, you're right. Yeah. So character guilds can only have one select knowledge. The guild is focusing on, and so if it's mining, then it's mining, and everyone in the guild gets their bonus experience to mining. Now, is it possible for someone in that guild to technically level a different knowledge? Yes, it's just much slower and just not a sensible idea. So realistically, guilds are focused on one thing. The other thing is guilds have a cap on the amount of players they can have in them. This cap is determined by a few things, but the main reason we reached the number we did was we did quite a few surveys about what was people's comfortable amount of people they could play Minecraft with. Now, as fun as the idea of having playing Minecraft with exactly 100 people is, it actually doesn't work. Most games deliberately settle on squads that are quite small because that actually allows for communication and you to feel like you're part of something rather than just a tiny cog in a massive machine. Whilst you technically are, it's designed in a way so that way, at least at the local level, you feel impactful, and then when you scale it up, you can kind of see the addition you make. So guilds have a cap on the amount of people in them. Yes, the cap can be increased by certain things, which I'm sure Connor will want to talk about and interject at some point, but you can't have 100 people in a character guild doing 700 different things, because for a start, you can't have 100 people in there, and realistically, it would make much more sense for you to have one guild focused on one thing with, say, 10 people in it, another guild focused on a different thing with 10 people in it, and by all means, work with the other guild, have a good relationship with the other guild, find the thing you're not good at, have them do that, okay? Let's say you are just super focused on making stone pickaxes. That's the entire purpose of your character guild. You will then maybe get in contact with a merchant guild and have their entire purpose be getting you all of the resources for the stone pickaxes. So that way you don't waste one of the slots of your character guild on someone who's actually just having to spend all their time logistically hunting and selling supplies. So yeah, that's one of the fun things that are created by us not having these multi-sprawling guilds with hundreds of players. So yeah, that's the idea. Can you be a peasant who just has a farm and not in a guild? Not really, no.
Can I be who just has a farm? No. That's another important thing, is that there's no private claims. If you want to claim land, you have to claim it as part of a guild application. So you need to be a master realistically in order to have any area.
Yeah, you could technically create your own guild with just you, But that's kind of A, stupid, B, weird, and C, doesn't make much sense. You're not joining Spifftopia to have a solo life without any interaction with other people. If that's what
character
you
guilds
want,
have to be approved. You can't just put in an application and it like automatically gets approved. It's a Spiff thing that Spiff needs to be like, okay, this person makes sense having this guild.
Yeah.
Like they've.
It's the same as divvying up parcels of land with like colonization. The people didn't just rock up to the new world and like hope, oh yeah, there'll be something here for me. It's very much a case of people literally had to go to a central authority and be like, hey, this is the village I want to found. These are the people I'm founding it with. This is our purpose. It's that same thing, basically.
Yeah. So this, going back to the other question about like having 100 players and split up into multiple guilds. There's no saying that, you know, if you pitch your idea and Spiff recognizes what you're doing, he might not want that, and so he might decline any application past the first one and tell them to go join other guilds. Like that's why like you can't plan for an eventuality that you know,
that might not happen.
Reason it might not happen.
There is also a reason why, as a central authority, I might not want a bunch of power being consolidated directly into one group.
Exactly.
That is one of the things we've learned from certainly the first Spifftopia and the second Spifftopia is the importance, the amount of power you get actually from splitting up your power and making sure little pieces are fed to different groups. Because it leads to much more interesting gameplay where it's not just, say, one individual who's basically holding the entire server ransom. Not saying that ever happened, but like it's definitely a situation servers can get stuck in, and this server could get stuck in, and so we have to acknowledge it.
Yes.
There was a question I'd like to ask to you, because Swiper says, is becoming a bandit or thief valid? Would server rules consider this to be griefing?
It depends, really. On a like a cursory level, if it gets to like a harassment or something, then it may be dealt with by moderation. But generally speaking, that would just be something that the guards would deal with, and you would be locked up in jail.
Or potentially executed.
Yeah, exactly, depending on what King Spiff wants.
Yep. Maybe I want all thieves to be given a light slap on the wrist and a talking to. Maybe I want all thieves forcefully working down the mines. Maybe I want all thieves publicly executed. Who knows? Maybe I want witch hunts. You never know. But yeah, definitely killing another player is not a easy thing to do. It's quite... It takes a commitment. So joining the server and being like, oh yes, I'm going to immediately, my plan is to kill as many people as possible, it will be very difficult to pull off.
Somebody asks, can you accidentally lock yourself into a mastery? Which my answer would be, you have to read a book from a
you'd have to make an master, or self-level to a master.
Or self-level. So like there's an action that you have to take in order to take the step from a journeyman to a master. So no, well, unless you don't understand what you're doing. But generally speaking, there is a check there that you could just not take and then take a different path, or start acknowledging other things.
Yep, correct. So it would be, whilst it is possible, you'd have to fail so many player checks to do that. It would be kind of on you. I'm going to quickly grab myself a cold drink, so I'll be back in a second, Connor, if that's okay.
Okay.
I recommend everyone, by all means, do that too. Get yourself a nice cold drink, stay hydrated, posture check, all of that. Back in a second.
Somebody asked, there's a bank and a library building, so is there a state bankers and scribe guild? If not, what are those buildings about? Or are they a secret? I would say find out in game, generally speaking, but the library is where you get books from. All the different types of books is where you'd go to the library to get them. which was shown on a couple of the streams, I think. Not Spiff stream, though. Say a member of a state guild becomes a master. Would they be encouraged to join or start a player guild, or would staying around to help train new people be encouraged? This is an important one because the way that you pass knowledge on, it's always cheaper in terms of your knowledge progression to level other people up than somebody else doing it themselves. So they don't necessarily have to stay in the state guild, but they would be encouraged to level other people up, and even potentially take them with them to another player guild, to their own character guild, because it's cheaper to do that. But also, if you want your guild to survive, which, potentially there may be only a limited number of guilds, Spiff might be denying a lot of them. So if you do get one, you want it to survive, and you need somebody else who's a master in order for the guild to continue. Because if you don't have a master to take over, then the guild will be lost, and it will go back to the state property, and then it will either be repurposed or destroyed or given to somebody else, or I don't know. It's up to Spiff at that point.
I'm back. What were you talking about?
Hello. Oh, farts.
Hello.
The whole time just talking about farts.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
These people can't get the stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's what chat wanted. It wasn't me. It was everybody was asking.
Okay. Someone says, do state guilds have a player limit? They don't. They exist to give new players who don't know where to go on the server a place to go, find their feet, maybe learn a skill, and then they transition to either making their own character guild or joining an existing character guild, or maybe they want to rise up and stay in the state guild. That's up to them. Yeah, there you go.
When we get into the lobby today and link our accounts, will that carry over to the other streams for the VIPs? I believe so.
If it doesn't, Chris will probably be quite sad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Can't promise anything, but it should. Because it's saved separately, so probably so.
Someone says outside of mainland Spifftopia, you're allowed to build without a claim. I mean, it's one of those things whereby but don't expect it to stick around. Like if I come along and I'm like, hey, I need a mineshaft built here, a mineshaft is getting built there. Okay, that's just how it is. But building requires resources, and resources require effort and work. And so generally speaking, you're not going to be seeing many player constructions outside of like a group effort. So that's why, potentially someone could build a structure off in the woods, but more likely it's going to be built by a group of players, and as a result, because it's a group of players, they're going to have permission from me or something, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's all swanky in here.
Somebody said, you mentioned that guilds have a player limit. Does this apply to the state guilds as well?
I already answered that.
Oh, okay.
I answered that, you buffoon. You made me look like a fool. No answer for any of you.
Royal Guards are... They have characters, obviously, so they can technically roleplay and interact with things, but every Royal Guard is a moderator. It's the only way of being a Royal Guard.
Yeah, if there's... Yeah, that's basically... They exist as an in-universe moderation system to help everything flow smoothly. So there is like regular guards who will deal with, crime and punishment, keeping the peace, keeping people safe from like mobs, all of that, and the logistics of that kind of stuff. But yeah, the actual Royal Guards are a different power structure entirely. You don't need to go to them to have someone arrested for petty theft.
No, that's the guards' jobs.
Yep.
Can I be a lawyer for criminals, or will I not be able to? It's roleplay, so you can do whatever you want. If there's a space for it to exist, you can make it happen.
Exactly. Does that mean Connor Brow is the commander? No, Connor Brow is. You have a few different entities you can play as, and I like the idea of all of them. Especially the lighthouse man, but I think it's very much a case of you're not committing to anything until you know how much time and energy it's going to take you to run this. Because Connor's basically the first port of call for everything.
Yeah.
Do you want to? You can read out the question from John Fish, the follow-up to our favorite new fisherman.
So fishing gets worse at higher levels. Less items, more fish. As someone who is planning on fishing at least for a few streams, what is the point of being a master? Or is it worth it? And I just need to find out. It is still worth it.
Because you produce a lot of fish.
Yeah, the success rate, like the amount of times you actually catch something, is so much higher that I think even though you have a lower percentage chance of getting junk, you'll still probably end up making just as much junk.
Yeah, you'll just get a significantly less events where you get nothing, like the fish got away basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, and even like also the longer the server goes on, the less and less valuable junk is. Like we'll reach a point where we don't need sticks from fishermen at all. Like that's not useful because the foresters are just pumping up wood at a much faster rate to create sticks, and the craftsman can turn that wood into sticks much better. So yeah, it's that kind of thing. Like you have a value, but your value changes as the server changes. Yeah. Oh, Becky, I found an error with the lobby. Becky, look at this, Becky. Look at this.
Oh, did we miss one?
Yeah, look at these. We didn't miss one. Missed two. Look at that. What's that?
Oh,
the
no.
Cups of tea doing for wheels. That's not right. Cannon shouldn't look like that. Everyone knows that. Oh, I'm raging. I'm livid now, Becky. That you had one job. You had one job, Becky. Design the entire map and build the entire map flawlessly. And you beansed it. You gone done beansed it.
The most important part, the flawless part of it.
Yeah. Can't believe it.
Somebody asked again about can you create higher alliances with multiple guilds like corporations? Which is no. More or less no, because the guild system is designed as it is, with the play limits that it is, in order to make that less likely to happen. So by design, it's not supposed to happen. You can obviously you can work together with other people. That's not a problem, but you're not going to have one person ruling over it.
Exactly. If there's guilds working together, we want like 4 main characters almost. Like, you know, I want each guild in that power structure to have a voice, not necessarily a perfectly equal voice, but a voice. I don't want to be like, you know, speaking to a representative of 200 players. I'd much rather speak to like 5 representatives of like 20 players each. That's much more interesting for everyone involved. Unionize, guys. Don't fall to the corporocracy. Fight for your workers' rights, but not too hard because it's still a monarchy. But oh dear. Will the test be opening up soon? I imagine so. Do we have an update from the dev team? How are they finding it? It was a lovely day.
Basically they've added profiling to understand what's going on, and they've now got like an actual error that they can base their fix off of.
Ooh,
so they're
it's no longer guessing. That's fun. Is it possible to talk to friends in other languages except English on the server? No, I'm afraid just English, please. It helps for like our moderators. It helps for everyone else involved. Like if you're having a conversation, someone should be able to overhear it. You should basically have every conversation as if someone else could be listening, just like the real internet. Okay.
Which is why we've not got voice channels in this server, and we've got we're trying to keep everything in this server rather than separate discords, because if you're talking in a voice outside of the server, then you're basically stealing the opportunity for people to roleplay with you in the game.
Yeah, that's basically it. And you're also robbing the audience of the ability to follow along to a certain extent. Like, of course, my eyes can't be everywhere, but realistically, if you are in like a group or a society and you're doing something in game, it's nice to have like a log of it on the Discord to know the discussions that were happening, if that makes sense. It's very useful for us, and it's useful for your own members when they like, if you have new people join, they can just go through like a whole backlog of conversations. So yeah, there you go. Yeah. Will there be room for conflict between guilds? Yeah, I can see conflict naturally arising. That's 100% viable. Of course, to an extent, it's a failure of society to have conflict occur in a sense that doesn't make sense, especially in a world that will be so dangerous. Like, I don't think we'll see interplayer conflict for a while because survival is so difficult towards the start. You'll start seeing exciting ideas like power dynamics and conflict as soon as people get their basic needs met. I think it's kind of like, you know, it's like religion. It's very difficult to get excited and involved in a cult when you don't have the free time, but then as soon as you've got the free time, oh boy, you can get really up and in that cult and you will have a lovely time. Yeah. Why is it prohibited for groups to have their own Discord group for voice chats? It's just purely because it makes it inaccessible to other players. And also it makes it impossible for us to moderate. It makes it difficult for us to follow along with. So yeah, it's just, those reasons are enough for us not to want it. Yeah.
Somebody asks, can we fight against the guards if they try to arrest us?
I mean, yeah, but they might kill you. And chances are they've probably got more combat training than you. So it's very much one of those things. Like, yeah, you could commit a crime, but there's not really much point of committing a crime and losing your entire life for it. Like, what's the point of stealing a loaf of bread if that's the end of your life, you know? Much better to starve peacefully. This message was brought to you by the French Revolution. Don't steal a loaf of bread, Jean Valjean. Just you know, have your hand lobbed off like a normal person.
Somebody asks, are we allowed to continue relations with people we met in previous lives, or do we have to burn all bridges when we die? Yeah, you're creating a new character. Your old character died. You're now a new character. You know, you don't have the experience. You don't have the knowledge. You don't have the connections. You're a new character. There are obviously cases in which you could potentially roleplay that out in specific cases, but
yeah,
in general, you can't just go, well, you're not supposed to, and we will deal with that in moderation if it becomes a problem. Just join back in and carry on from where you left off. Join the same guild and then just build your knowledge back up as if nothing happened. It's not, you know,
it's not encouraged.
You're a new character.
Yeah, you should see death as an opportunity to start over and do something different, not as like I'm going to come back and do the exact same thing, slip into the exact same role. Like, if you were to be the head of a guild and you died, and then you came back and we saw you become the head of the guild again, that is it. Like, you are 100% getting booted. Like, unless it's a slow, gradual process which makes narrative sense, that is just does not make sense in any sense of a society. Don't get me wrong, nepotism, sure, we understand it, but we want, like, death is an opportunity for you to start a new story and someone else to start a new story, and take the gap that you leave behind. Otherwise, there's no value to death at all. So yeah. Someone says, can you level
okay, you should be able to join again now.
Okay. Welcome back, everyone. You should be able to reconnect. Nice. There you go. Rejoin, join. Cypher says, can you level your skills up to the point where you can use diamond swords and diamond armor? Are the diamond parts of each knowledge considered master and you can't? There you go, Connor. That one's for you, Mr. Knowledge Man.
I wasn't paying attention.
Can you level your skills up to the point where you can use diamond swords and diamond armor? Are the diamond parts of each knowledge considered master?
Find out in game, I guess.
There you go. Find out in game.
Yeah, I don't really think we need to answer that. It's just, I mean, for one, it's going to be probably a couple sessions, at least one session, before anybody even has that problem. So figure it out when the time comes.
Q crashed again.
I mean, a crash is still useful, so...
Crash is still useful. This is good.
It's not necessarily bad.
But yeah, I would definitely see, like, the use of, say, diamond. It will be very rare. This isn't regular Minecraft where you can just run off into a mine shaft and find a diamond in 15 minutes, have a full set of gear, and then go slay the Ender Dragon. It's just not possible.
It's a slow build up, yeah.
I don't even think you can wear diamond armor without the prerequisite skills.
No. You have to have certain knowledge or knowledges in order to wear them.
Yep. So there you go. That's the answer. But if you ever do achieve that point, you will be a very formidable force to be reckoned with, and very difficult to defeat. Because that's kind of what we want. We want it to be a situation where if you are if you have invested all that time in and you are ridiculously powerful with a sword and armor, you should be able to enjoy the power fantasy where basically, we could run 100 peasant farmers at you and you wouldn't even take a lick of damage. You get to RP the feudal lord on the battlefield of 1066. But yeah, what do you need level-wise to wear better armor? It's tied to like a knowledge group. So basically wear the previous set of armor, wear it competently enough to the point where you can then wear the next set, similar to like weapons. Yeah, there you go.
I think the way you describe that is misleading.
It is misleading, yeah.
But that's why I wanted to just say find out in game, because...
Yeah, you're right. It is a find out in game situation. Sorry, guys.
I think, Luca, that's just because the server's been going up and down, so it's probably just not been in a state where you can do that when you've been on the server.
Butsy the Dane says, I gave myself a non-RP name during the test. Will I be able to get myself a real RP name? You can delete your character at any time. If you don't like your character, or you don't like the knowledge path you've gone down, or anything like that, just delete them. Or, even better, load into the server and find a tragic way to die.
Press F1 if you want to show them.
Okay. Yeah, so you can just click the big X here. So I can create dead and spiff. Create my character. There we go, make that character. Go on, load it in. There we go. And then I can delete my character. Type yes. Deleting character. Dead spiff is gone now. There you go. We did it.
Yay!
Yay! Woohoo! Woohoo! Server's back up again.
Yeah.
That was quick. Hey, look at these swift little sausages.
Someone said, would it be possible to make Limbo more interesting, or does it need to be empty for technical reasons? Yes, it's for technical reasons. If your Minecraft instance, your Minecraft client isn't loading a world. We're not sending a world to it. If we were going to be sending something like a parkour course, we'd have to be sending it a world, which is then using resources that we can save. You don't need to be.
It would cost it would cost us an insane amount of money to give you.
It's not worth spending
to
the
give you
time
brain
developing
rot.
that.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
we've
guys.
got more important things to develop.
Yeah. So yeah, Limbo isn't the gameplay experience, although it is the gameplay experience you probably know from the testing. But the game is not Limbo. Unless. Okay, this one seems relatively stable, I think, maybe. Hasn't crashed in a period of time. And I've got the
Discord link should stay after the test. But I can't promise that. I don't see why it wouldn't, but I'm not going to say that it's guaranteed. Is more or less what I'm saying. I don't want to be an absolute when I don't know that it's an absolute. Now, can we improve in Limbo and become the Limbo master?
Yeah, the longer you spend in Limbo, the more stat you generate.
Yeah.
We should make it like a Zen skill for time spent in Limbo. Increases the character's Zen. Oh dear, terrible ideas. Okay, yeah, I'm also stuck in Limbo. Okay, that is.
Yeah, I think we're still working through. There's some kind of underlying behavior that needs to be resolved, which is why it's taking so long.
Is there any reason to become a master other than creating a guild? Yeah, depending on the type of knowledge, you might be able to craft something that no one else can, or very few people can, or you'll be able to do a task much more efficiently than everyone else on the server. Because, like, if I'm calling someone to to produce something, like, hey, bring me 60 wheat, I'm not going to task it to John Johnson, level 1 farmer. I'm going to task it to the master, who I know would actually have significantly higher drop rates and a more efficient farming. Like, that's just the economies of scale. Get good at something, do it over and over again, repeat until you make more money. Yeah. Is there a way to talk to people far away? There's shouting, but that consumes energy and it doesn't go really, really far. But if you want to talk to someone really far away, I'm afraid it's the medieval ages. You got to find someone and tell them to deliver a message on your behalf.
Yeah.
And probably give them a bunch of food to help them along the way. But yeah, messaging is 100% like a thing you should engage with in RP if possible, because it's a fun opportunity to give someone. You're basically giving someone a side quest. You are the Skyrim NPC giving someone the incredible, immaculate lore experience of traversing the world map, maybe just to say a single line of message, which is just like, hey, we're having a meeting, please come back.
This is an example that we were talking about where we don't want Discord VCs. That's the kind of example of what we're saying is, you're stealing an opportunity off of somebody else by doing that, of creating RP essentially by talking in a voice call.
Mm-hmm. Well, I Fly Dragons has already also cracked the code. Time to get people to line up and stand perfectly still, throwing letters to each other to save food. There you go.
I joked about that a couple, I think on the Saturday before the stream, I was saying we were discussing the hunger and food situation, and I was saying, well, you could just get everybody to line up in a line and then just throw the materials in a line so that nobody has to move. Everybody's just completely still on the server throwing stuff around, which would be quite funny, but organizing that many people would be impossible.
It would be quite the achievement. But yeah, it's definitely a solution. Your hunger won't go down provided you're staying perfectly stationary and not doing anything. I don't recommend jumping. That's a bad idea. You will starve to death if your hunger goes to 0. So don't do that. And if you can't fill up your hunger bar by eating food, it's because you have sleep deprivation. There you go. The fun mechanics.
Yes, and you can die from sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
Well. And that's also another reason why it probably makes sense to be a member of a guild, is that you can only protect something if it's in a guild, and you can only sleep, or you can only claim a bed if it's in a guild. So you might struggle if you're not a member of a guild. Although that's one of the things that we have changed and we fixed, because it was impossible to sleep unless you're a member of a guild, which it shouldn't be impossible.
So it's just a bit harder.
Yeah. Well, the problem is the inn was useless because it's part of the. Oh,
it's part of a guild. You're right. Yeah.
So you had to be a member of the castle guild
in order to.
Yeah, the Central State Guild.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah, you won't be able to connect at the moment because it's in maintenance mode, I think. So yeah, if you're currently in the limbo, just disconnect. And yeah, there's no in-game VC. It's just all text. Can I circumvent the need for sleeping by chugging bottles of honey? No. That's an interesting idea, though. Interesting.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
That's a pretty good. I feel like that's an interesting idea. Someone says the cow texture is broken for me. Change the version of Minecraft you're running on. I think that's generally the issue for that one, right? If textures look weird,
yes, it'll be the
you're not running on
the wrong version.
Yeah. Oh, I can't jump that. I thought I was going to be able to do some amazing parkour. Oh, look at that. Good stuff. What's the range of the proximity? I think it's like 5-10 blocks. But yeah.
Depends on what channel you're in, or like how loud you're talking, I guess.
Yeah. Is there a way to opt out of OOC?
We're changing OOC anyway.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, it'll be different.
Yeah. What will happen if Spiff is assassinated? Will there be a sudden Spiff Jr.? No, I will just spawn in like some kind of malevolent entity. I think of me as like some kind of eldritch being that cannot be slain by mortal means. Yeah. Just don't pick a fight with me and you're all good. There's some incredible ideas. Eating skill tree. The more you eat, the more sophisticated cutlery you can use is amazing. Someone said, will everyone be able to place and edit signs? Everyone can place signs and edit signs. The problem you run into is actually making a sign is quite challenging. I don't think everyone can make a sign. I think that is locked behind knowledge, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
also, we do have filters for signs, so you can't.
Oh, lovely.
You can't just say whatever you want. Like I know some people, some servers forget about that, but we have taken that into account.
There you go. Before you start getting all spicy.
When placing a block.
No, Victory Park. Don't worry. No, don't worry. We didn't do that. Oh my god. Okay, so Victory. So the Victory Park said, when placing a block, is there a chance that the block breaks and isn't placed? No. If you have the block in your inventory, you can place it. It's when you're breaking a block or crafting something, there's a chance where it doesn't work. Or you don't get it. But yeah, if it was placing a block, then I think we would give people an aneurysm if, they spent 30 minutes trying to craft a bed just to have the bed crumble to pieces as they put it on the ground. I think that would probably be the final nail in people's sanity. Someone says, "Can I fight other masters for the role of master?" No, like masters are the people who can make other masters. So realistically, you're going to be working with them, and working together. And then a guild could have multiple masters, but realistically, you'll probably go and set up your own guild. So if you want to fight another master, do it on the fields of economical battle. Block placing mastery. No, that's a terrible idea. We'll never do it. Oh dear. Are there any mechanical consequences for leaving a guild? Yeah, so you don't lose the skills you gained, but you wouldn't receive, say, the experience bonus for future experience gains, unless maybe you left one guild and joined another guild of, say, the same type. So yeah, it's mostly, there is gameplay, but it's mostly RP, as you say. Yeah. You can be kicked from a guild, but you'd still keep the knowledge you have. Maybe say, if you had resources inside the guild house, they wouldn't let you back in to get them, which, that's an exciting situation for people to deal with. And we like that. Will it be possible to change the political system? Potentially in the future. That's to find out in game. Yeah. You said archery is locked at the start. Are there any other skills that are locked at the start? There are a few things that basically aren't available at the start because they're just not in for you guys at the moment. So we won't reveal what they are because they're meant to be interesting discoveries that happen over time. So yeah, stuff that is missing, you won't know what it is until it isn't. Except, I guess, ranged weaponry, because we've spoken about that in the past. Yeah. So, find out. Do the military have ranks? Yes, they do. They do indeed. And the players can make throwaways using furnace carts, chest carts, and more carts. Do furnace carts actually move, I guess?
Yeah.
Are they powered? Okay. So would that technically work? Could we build trains?
Yeah, no, that's how a furnace cart, you right click on it. You right click on it with some sort of fuel, and then it pushes other carts.
Okay, so potentially it could push players sat in other carts.
Players, yeah, and also chests. So like you can have a bunch of chests and a furnace cart down at the bottom of the mine, fill up the chests, fuel up the furnace cart, and then it pushes all of the materials up to the top, and then the people at the top can unload them and then send it back down.
Nice. Okay, I like that. That's pretty cool. That's very cool. Are there more or less efficient ways to train a skill, as in, say, mining regular stone would be less XP than ore? Nope, it's all the same. It's all the same. You break a diamond or you break a stone block, it's the same experience. Yeah. We'll be able to join again today, hopefully. I mean, we'll have to keep testing until we get it to function. That's basically how it goes. Welcome to the joys of testing large player stuff. We want this to work before Sunday, so we need to get it ironed out before Sunday. Clank says, will you be able to uncuff me, Spiff? Clank, I don't know what the command to uncuff you is, and I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I have the key, but that's it. I don't know how to uncuff you with the key. I apologize. You're permanently trapped. I delete your character and start again to escape from forever jail. Oh dear. Munzer, you say we keep on testing till it malfunctions. You keep on testing until it doesn't malfunction. That's the purpose of the test. Oh yeah, that's another option, Clank. You could commit honorable death and free yourself from the mortal coil. Definitely an option. Top Line says, will there be locks and keys for storage chests in the bunk halls of the state guilds to keep your personal items safe? So, if you are in a state guild, those chests, I believe, are locked into the guild. And of course, if a player is robbing another guild mate, then I would imagine not only would the guild take action, but in universe, other people would take action and have them arrested / killed, you name it. And if it was like done with malicious intent rather than there being an actual reason, then yeah, they'd probably just get banned. So yeah, there are also locks, but they're mostly for things like doors. I don't think there's not a reason why a regular player would ever be able to afford a key to lock a chest. But there's a reason why a guild might want to. Is keep inventory on in the game? No, because when you die, your entire character is dead. All of your skills gone, all of your loot gone, you name it, it's gone. Okay, Alfie's saying game up again? Oh yeah, it is up again. Okay, try and join in, see what happens. See what happens, guys. Maybe it all works flawlessly. Maybe it all explodes in glorious fireball. Oh, look, I'm in the limbo and I'm in the queue, waiting for capacity. Look at this. The queue is paused. Yes. How very unique. Oh, it's forever limbo. But is it limbo with UI? We don't know. Oh, dear. But yeah, your skins get reset to a default skin when you're in limbo. That's just Minecraft. Definitely not a... that's just a... Yeah, that's by design. Not an us thing. Oh, rip. Rest in peace. Okay, furnace minecarts can push and pull up to 3 carts. The pull feature is based on the depreciated feature of minecarts being able to attach to other minecarts. I see, when pushed into each other. Though this connection breaks on corners and slopes, so it can only be used on straight tracks. Ah. Interesting. The more you know about minecarts. While honey wouldn't work to stave off fatigue, would caffeinated tea have any effect? So, whilst tea does exist, it doesn't affect sleeping. It provides other bonuses and negatives. Yeah. Wow, this iteration of Master Sparkles really does look incredible. Do-do-do-do. Yeah. Hello, you. Antec, you say, how will you tackle the issue of avoiding death? I feel like it's impossible to overcome the overwhelming desire of thousands of people to play with their friends and relations. We expect people to play with their friends, but of course you might not be able, like when you're on the server, your friends might not be on the server. So we'd recommend you make new friends and invite people to experience something new. Just be open to something different. And of course, you know, if you die and you want to rejoin the same guild as you were previously in, because that's where all of your friends were, then yeah, sure, just don't do the exact same thing. Maybe do something different or play adjacent to your friends. Like if 2 of you die at the same time, just try something different and then slowly transition over. Like just play organically. We're not going to be like, oh, hey, this is your best friend who you always play Minecraft with. You're not allowed to communicate with them. Don't worry. But the world is much more than just your job, and it will grow into something quite magical and different over time. Yeah.
I come with updates if people want updates.
I think people would probably like updates. They'd enjoy that.
I don't know. Did they deserve them though? Did they really test hard?
Oh, I think they tested really well. So yeah, I agree. God, Sparks is on fire, bless him. He's properly blazing. Don't even know how we fix that because he can't get in the water. He gets teleported out. There you go, solved it. Okay, what is it? What is the?
Yes, so basically, there's an edge case again. It's another edge case where
they love edges.
When occasionally people are being moved into the lobby, but then they're failing to move into the lobby, and then they're choking up they're choking up the queue when they get moved back into the queue.
Okay.
Because they're being added back into the place that they were in, which doesn't exist anymore because the queue's moved. But it's not necessarily the queue that's the issue. It's finding out why they are not successfully being moved into the lobby, and the problem is that there's very, very little information that we're receiving. It's basically just telling us that, oh, we're trying to move them. Oh, they didn't get moved, which isn't helpful because we don't know why they didn't get moved. So we're having to reverse engineer what the problem is in order to solve it. So that's what's taking a while. Is it's just figuring out where that issue is, like what the actual issue is, not.
I'm going to blame the 5 or so people running on a different Minecraft version.
Yeah, it's definitely their fault.
Definitely their fault.
Yeah.
I think we should host witch trials for people running on 1.21.
Well, luckily it just refuses to connect those people now. But you never know. It may be some sort of incompatibility that we're not sure of or not aware of.
Yeah.
Or the server doesn't know how to handle, or like what the actual issue is that would cause that. I don't know. Yeah, lots of issues.
Yeah.
But we just don't know what actually the issue is. It's just telling us that Quack Goop's computer says no.
Yeah.
Which isn't very helpful to us. So we're having to manually figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this Sparkles is the fire creature who lives in furnaces. He really is. He's a child of lava. He's really having a lovely time in there. Sunlit Haddock says if the goal is true roleplay, voice chat isn't just useful, it's transformative. Yeah, so I appreciate your message, but it's just not possible. Like we can't have voice chat on a server set up like this. It's just not feasible at all.
Yeah, there's
don't get me wrong.
There's server problems. There's integration problems. There's moderation problems.
There's accessibility problems.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, accessibility.
Yeah.
It's exclusionary and it's like.
With far more reasons why
server.
there's far more reasons why we couldn't have it than could have it. And 100% I agree that on the right server with the right people, it's perfect, right? You can hang out with your mates and play Minecraft, and that's amazing. But it just does not work for something of this scale to have voice chat, and I'm sorry. Yeah. You're having a lovely time in that little hot tub. Poor Tony's laughing at you there, Sparks. I'm sitting here. What do you even get? Oh, wow, you really had to bend your way in. Jeez, it forces you out to the front. Oh, it's quite toasty, though. This is definitely something. Does feel a bit foreboding, though. Hair's on fire, mate. Oh, dear. Everything's fine. TM. Yeah, this is a live update from the dev team. Oh, dear. But yeah, so someone said, could you be a purely like merchant / money lender? You could, yeah. So those kinds of guilds wouldn't have a knowledge tied to them. So if you want that guild, you'd have to pitch it basically to us, and provided there's a reason for it to exist and we like the idea, it will exist. But there is definitely a use case for merchants, because we need them to move goods around, at least logistically, because in a world where a guild is focused entirely on producing its resource, does it want to waste time / members moving goods and selling goods? Probably not. So yeah, there's a use for merchants in the same way there is in the real world. You want to go to a place and buy or sell something. Have you guys seen some of the discussions in Discord about what players plan to do that interests you, or ever wonder if they'll be able to accomplish it? I mean, yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff, and a lot of it is like, this is never possible. This is like not possible in the slightest. And then we've seen other stuff where it's like, someone's going to have a lot of fun doing this. So yeah, we've seen a lot of the discussions. They're all quite interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exciting. Could a guild have multiple different masters of a different type? I mean, technically, yeah. There's nothing stopping a guild that's, say, like a mining guild, having a member of the mining guild who's a master of, say, forestry. Like, that's technically not impossible from happening. It's just it's just unlikely. It makes more sense for that user to set up their own guild, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's the amount of time that you invest in something to get into a master. Like at that point, you have like it's like becoming at the top of your field in real life. It's you're most likely to just take advantage of the knowledge that you've got because you spent so long establishing it than to break off and do something different. Obviously you can do that, but it's probably a very late game kind of thing.
It's the equivalent of getting a PhD in something and then not following it up by doing that thing.
Yeah, exactly. You've invested so much time and money in getting that education that you might as well use the education.
It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to not, like, maybe you don't want the leading role of a guild.
Yeah, exactly.
It's up to players. But like, let's say you're a master, but you realize you don't want the like pressure of running a guild. There's nothing stopping you from finding, say, an apprentice beneath you, and then having them do basically all of the day-to-day, and you just focus on your job. Like, that's fine. Like, not every master needs to be a public fronting individual. That's okay. But yeah, you should all have been kicked off the server whilst we dig through all of the data and find out something interesting. Is it likely there will be a lot of masters? As most players will try to get a mastery, so it won't be as rare. No, masteries take A long time to get to, and B, players die. Like, yeah, technically, if everyone just focuses on one thing and no one dies, we would reach a point where everyone on the server is the master of a particular knowledge. But people will die. It's just inevitable. Like, even when we were in our like the like pre-launch stage on last Sunday, where we had creators in, we still had creators die. We had random people just die because it happens. Like, you're walking around, you get shot by a skeleton, you already didn't have much hunger, you run but you don't have enough to like actually get away, and then bam, you're just dead. Like, that is just life. Like, maybe a creeper falls from above, blows up right on top of you, that's you dead instantly. Like, I'm pretty sure being next to a creeper and having it blow up is an instant kill. So that's just life, you know. You gotta live with it. But yeah, the server access is currently not. Oh, actually, it's back up again. Okay, load back in. Testing again. Let's go.
I don't think it's up properly. I think that's just.
No, it's up to 100.
Oh,
it's not maintenance. It's yeah.
Okay, devs have just gone quiet, I think.
Have those sleepy little sausages.
They're busy.
Yeah. Well, I got put into the queue and it said I got my VIP fastpass actually appear this time, so that's useful. Waiting for capacity. Nice.
That means that the queue is.
Oh, server access was paused. Only lobby was available. There you go. That's it. So you can't load into the actual world. You can only load into the lobby. That's exciting. Will you drop loot on death? Yeah, you'll drop loot on death. It will disappear if it gets like blown up or falls in lava.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Yeah. Someone says, is it possible to buy a house? I mean, hypothetically, yes, but that's on the players to invent such a system, because you're starting in feudal society where land is used for purpose, not like luxury ownership. everything is there for a purpose and built on for a purpose. How come some people see themselves in limbo, but mine is always just blank? They press F5. This is what everyone sees. You press F5, there you go. You go third person. Isn't that exciting? Oh, or if your UI is all blank, then that's not how it's meant to be. Maybe let us know in bug reporting what all of your game settings are and what version of Minecraft you're running. You can pop that in there. Do. Could the VIP and non-VIP queues be causing connection problems for non-VIPs potentially? Also, no, that's the VIPs and non-VIP queues is just one queue. So yeah, it shouldn't be causing a problem. Could using Linux cause an issue? I'm not sure. I think Linux should be fine. I don't think you should have an issue with it. If you can run Minecraft, you should be able to run this. What resource pack we're using? It's a custom one, my friend, which just doesn't work outside of this server. I'm sorry. We can't give it to you. It just wouldn't function. Are we able to place lights to stop mob spawns? Yeah, 100% you're able to place lights to stop mob spawns. That's a really useful part of society and a progress that we will probably make. Do. Bob, what you describe is 100% possible and on the players to do. Good luck organizing something like that. The lights run out of fuel? No, this was an idea we floated. We floated the concept of having lights that had a finite fuel supply and would need to be topped up, and like lanterns that you'd need to like right click on with a torch every once in a while. But it's just not, it's not a very player friendly experience because you just have lights randomly going off, which would be weird. Also, hello Connor, how are you doing? Sounded like you were saying something, but you weren't. Okay.
Gouda.
Gouda, you're eating cheese?
Nope.
What are you eating?
Chocky bar.
Ah, chocky bar.
I forgot I had it in my pouch.
Yep.
So it's all melted.
Most people just call it a belly, but that's fine.
What? That would mean that I'm like re-eating.
Oh, that's true. You're not baby birding yet, hopefully. Oh dear. But yeah, this is basically, hey, we're here for a test. That's welcome to the test. We have to repeatedly launch a server, see what is causing an issue, attempt to fix the issue, and repeat over and over again until everything works comfortably and smoothly. That's why you're all here. We don't demand your full attention. We don't demand all of your focus. You're just here to push join server on Minecraft. There's no actual gameplay that can be unlocked other than the process of making a character. Yeah, that's it. That's why we're all here. You should give all the testers a nice reward for helping. I mean, other than my thanks, that's all I can provide. There's nothing more I can do. Like, I appreciate all of you taking time out of your day or having us on like a second monitor. It helps a lot, and it really helps us push the boundaries of what Minecraft is capable of. So we thank you for that. But I can't just be like, oh yes, I will pay all of you for your time. I'm sorry. It's just not possible. Is the Patreon the best way to support the server? Technically, yes. It takes a lower cut than YouTube. YouTube takes a higher cut. I think technically, as far as like payment percentage goes, like the Tebex skins are the greatest return we see. I think it's only like, depending on your payment, like 0.1% is taken as a processing fee. Whereas for Patreon, I think it's like 10, maybe? I think it's 10%, maybe less, or maybe 18%. For YouTube, it's 30% of the memberships are taken by YouTube. So yeah. Can you say words of encouragement? Some cow, I believe in you. I believe you can do anything when you put your mind to it. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. That's my words of encouragement. Oh dear. Why did you choose Minecraft? We chose Minecraft because everyone owns the game, basically. That's the thing that matters to us. It's like everyone owns Minecraft, so it's an easy pick for this kind of stuff. But yeah, Slurp says, I just got here, how's the testing going so far? So basically, the first few things we found, we fixed, and now we're on to a situation whereby there's like weird data being created by people not quite joining the lobby in the way that's meant to happen, and then that breaks the queue for everyone. So we're basically having to use trial and error because our effectively our crash reporters that report on the things that go wrong don't seem to be giving us don't give us an accurate explanation as to why the thing that's going wrong is going wrong. So yeah. Would you take damage from punching a tree? I mean, in the real world, yes, but don't worry, even in our version, you won't. It's okay. Will you be made the CEO of Microsoft as a reward for the server experiment? No, you won't be. I'm sorry, but we don't. This is my little passion project. I don't want to become a billionaire because of it. I'm quite comfortable. Thank you very much. This is just all for fun in Minecraft. That's what it's all about. Spiff, what was your favorite question about the server so far? The one about how we handle death, I find, is always quite interesting. That, and also like the guilds working together. Those kinds of questions I find fascinating because they're very much the depth of a societal simulation, is how people interact and how you deal with life and death. To me, that's more interesting than, like, say, grand goals of conquest. Yeah, that's my concept. Have you considered just making the server work? Wow, you're right, the go-to cheese. You're actually spot on. No need to thank you. I'm gonna thank you. You've cracked it. We had server work set to false in the Boolean logic, but you've cracked that.
Go tell the devs. That was, yeah.
You go tell the devs. Yeah. Well, there we go, guys. We've solved all of the issues. Oh dear. Oh dear. Is there TNT? I don't think there is TNT in the game, actually.
No.
Yeah, it's definitely not in our version because it's just not very. It doesn't fit the environment very well, especially for the era of the society that we're kind of aiming for and the aesthetic of the society we're aiming for. Does not make sense for players to be strip mining using explosives. It's meant to much more be focused on like player and actual manual work being the main focus. Look at that. Someone with a corgi profile picture. Isn't that incredible? Thank you, Flamingo. Who said, will copper golems be a thing? No, there are no copper golems because they're a recent addition to Minecraft, right? They're in the snapshot, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they're 1.21 thing. I guess a late 1.21 thing.
Yeah, so we don't have it. We don't have it. Will everyone spawn in the same, like, there isn't a 5% chance you spawned in short, so now your character is slightly shorter and you walk 10% slower? Lock. You're on to something right there. Oh my goodness. You spawn in 10% taller. Fertility stat is boosted by 24%. Oh dear. No, we don't have a genetic natural selection mechanic going. I mean, I love the idea, but my goodness, that's incredible. But think what if there's like a 1% chance that a player could spawn in to be like 1 block tall, and consequently they're so much better at mining because they can just reach all the small crevices. Oh, that's such a good idea. Oh, I mean, we can't do it, but I love the idea. I love it. Spawned as a dwarf, smithing 1.5 times boost. You've done it. You've cracked it.
Would there be a chance to become like the Reaper of the Limbo and banish people to Limbo in a roleplay way? Well, Limbo isn't part of Spifftopia. Limbo is just a part of server architecture.
Yeah.
In the world, Limbo doesn't exist. In the Spifftopia world, Limbo doesn't exist. It's not a roleplay element.
It's a thing we acknowledge here because it's, of course, the place where you end up when something goes wrong on our server. But when everything goes right, hopefully you'll barely see it.
Well, in this testing, you might be sat in the queue in Limbo, but you're not actually in Spifftopia at that point. You're just sat waiting in the queue. No, the spawn points of the server, like once you get into Spifftopia, you'll spawn by one of the boats because you're arriving by boat. But it's not. That's not. It's not like a permanent thing. Once you sleep in a bed, once you become a member of a guild and sleep in a bed, then you'll spawn at your bed within that guild. We will expand on beds later, but right now they're in their simplest form. We've got them ready for once we add, but there's some logic issues that we need to figure out before we can finish the bed feature. So just like a lot of other things, it's not a feature complete server. We'll be adding things as we go on and tweaking things and modifying things, and if there's issues, then we'll fix them. And,
might balance things. It's a live service game. Like let me think of a good live service game. Concord, Overwatch 2. What other great live service games are there? I feel like I hit all of the best ones. Destiny. Well, no, because Destiny actually is a good live service game. The joke was I was naming the bad ones. Unless something has happened to Destiny that I don't know about. But last time I checked,
dying.
Okay, well,
I think they've mishandled it and it's dying. But
guys.
Yeah, so I think some people would include that in your list.
Last time I checked, Destiny was good. Oh yeah, because they did the modern RuneScape, didn't they? You can't say Arc Raiders when I'm like 90% certain that is one of the most played games on Steam. / also is in the middle of its marketing campaign. So I think that's a successful live service currently.
It also does look quite fun, I gotta admit.
That's the marketing propaganda speaking to you.
No,
Unplug from the influencers.
but I would like it seems fun to watch at the very least.
Yeah, it is. It is. I also played the new Stalker mixed with Tarkov from Gaijin, and that was more fun than I expected.
Like a hellscape.
It was definitely jank, like really quite janky in parts, but I had a lot of fun. And I it's one of those things where I received a sponsor offer for it because it's Gaijin, they'll sponsor anyone. And I was like, no, I'm not doing a sponsor video for this. And they're like, but please, we want you to do a video with Martin. And I was like, I'll play with Martin, but I'm not being sponsored for it. So I'm appearing in a different creator sponsored video, just as a background character, unpaid, for the love of the game. And it was quite fun. It also meant I get to make fun of the game without there being a contractual obligation.
That's always fun.
Oh yeah, it is fun. It's so much easier like laughing at a bad thing than it is to praise a good thing. People don't care about praising an okay thing. It's about finding the worst thing and then making it seem significantly more important and then continuously punching down. That's the dream, okay? That's my tip to all of you guys wanting to start out in content creation. Find a baby seal that you can club. What sponsor is giving you the most pressure? Generally, not many, because I'm in a very privileged position where if a sponsor starts giving me pressure, like near the start of a contract, we just pull out. And that's it. We just don't work with them again. The only sponsors we've had like issues with recently, I think Opera GX were a bit more finicky the last time we worked with them, so probably won't work with them again. But yeah, I've like in the past I've enjoyed working with them. It just seems they've got a bit stricter with creators because they used to be really, really like hands off and just let you basically do whatever you want for the integration. Whereas it seems like they basically are like, oh yeah, the integration should be about 60 seconds long. And in those 60 seconds, you need to talk about these 20 different things, which means there's no way you can fit that into 60 seconds. So it's like, okay, well, this isn't actually a 60-second integration, is it, Opera GX? So yeah, I had a problem with that, but it was still fine. But yeah, generally speaking, we don't deal with a sponsor who is difficult to work with. And also I'm lucky in that I speak to a lot of other creators. So if someone else has a problem with a certain like developer or like publisher, we just don't work with them. And equally, if I run into problems, I will tell other creators. And so yeah, we generally we look after each other. Because yeah, there's been a couple of times where like a creator I've known has done a job for someone or like done a sponsored thing, and then they've just basically never been paid, and they just can't ever track down their money, which just sucks. Like it happens. It's rare, but it happens. And luckily, yeah, just I've avoided all of that up until this point. Yeah. Is there already a guard state guild, not royal guard? There currently isn't one set up, but there will be. Just not at the start.
I mean, technically there is one, but just nobody's been enrolled in it yet. But we do have somebody who will be the leader. We just haven't enrolled in it yet because we're busy doing other things. So there is. Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to the wonderful.
The military is just an empty state guild that Smith will recruit to as and when it's needed.
Yeah. Yeah, going back to sponsors, there's a reason why I like working with Paradox, / a few other companies. If you ever see me working with a company over and over again, it's because they basically let me do whatever I want. Like, there are a handful of companies who I can go to and just be like, this is my idea, and they're like, yes, go for it. Because I think a lot of companies have a very enlightened perspective, which is as like, I will only take a sponsorship for something I enjoy, and generally speaking, the best kind of like video I can make is something where I'm having fun doing something in a game. And if that is breaking a game, then you should probably still support that. And 90% of developers do. It's only when you start leaning towards Nintendo where everything goes out the window. We did have a problem with like Gaijin once where we almost had them sponsor an enlisted video and then they pulled out last minute, despite them giving us loads of like, we were very much like, hey, this is our exact concept, this is what we're doing, is that okay? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. And then like the week before the video was going to come out, after we'd already made the entire thing, they were like, Actually, we showed this to the executives, and one of them said they didn't like it, so you can't. So it's like, okay,
because it was a good film. It was a good concept as well.
It was a really good concept. It was like, can you pay to win in a video game? Where I got a pro player and I paid to win, and I played against them, and like almost all of the team at Gaijin were like, "This is a fun video," but yeah, to just one person, it rubbed them the wrong way. So that was it. It's a shame when it happens, but it does happen. Big stretch. I'm curious, would Limbo would be in Limbo some mini map, like mini parkour? No, we can't add anything to Limbo. It just takes up way too many resources. But yeah.
No, the goal of Limbo is to use as little as we possibly can. So if we're adding anything in, then we're no longer using as little as we can. So it defeats the entire purpose of it.
Yeah.
We're not serving a map, so we can't add anything in because there's nothing to add parkour into.
Yeah.
Without fundamentally changing it.
And Go to Cheese, you say, could you still post that video, just take out the part where it's sponsored? That's what we did. We took out any reference to it being sponsored, and we released the video anyway because we enjoyed the video. Like that's the big reveal, is that often if I'm doing a sponsored video, it's a video I'd do anyway. Don't tell the marketing companies that, but yeah. Yeah. Oh, the Spirit says also, how much fun is it when appearing in the Magic the Nerve videos? They're good fun. They're a little bit crazy. Sometimes they're like a 10-minute recording session. Other times they're like 4 hours. I think the most recent one I did was actually really quite a difficult recording session for me because it was one of the hottest days in the UK. And I was doing it from the Yogscast offices because I had to be there for like a thing later in the evening. And yeah, so my entire like mic setup was jank. Like I was holding a microphone in my hands for the entire time, trying not to accidentally bang it on the table. And it was just swelteringly hot. Yeah, it was so in that regard, it was a difficult recording session. It's why I feel like as the video went on, everyone got slightly more and more delirious, because I feel we reached a point where everyone was trying to find a way to end the game because Noah hadn't quite realized how long it would have been dragged out for. And that can sometimes happen. And it's kind of fun when that happens, because if every Magic the Noah game was the exact same, it wouldn't be as exciting. But yeah, every single video from him is like a completely different zany concept, which is why it's something that I will always say yes to doing, because it is just fun. To rock up and be presented with an interesting challenge. And it's also fun for me to manipulate the people around me. Like I did a recording with him on Wednesday, and I would describe it as a classic Spiff appearance in a Magic the Noah video, where despite it being technically a purely RNG experience, I have complete control over the entire situation. Sparkle says, is that when you were in the room next to me? Yes, Sparkles, that was when I was in the room next to you. You were doing like music stuff and I was yapping away. It was the day of the barbecue, you might remember. Yeah. Oh dear. So if you like Magic the Gathering, name your favorite way to play. My favorite way to play is with Krenko the Goblin and tap him to break the game. Job done. And yeah, Sparkle says it was such a hot day. It really was. Really, really was. Jack Lumberton says, if we return to our beds when we log in, doesn't that mean people who log out far into the wilderness will be warped home on the next weekend? Yes, it does. That means if you're making progress out in the wilderness and you want to stay there when you next load into the server, you best put down a bed. Take a bed with you. Okay? There you go. That's what it's all about.
I think we might have some progress. I think they might have figured out what the problem is. Now they just need to figure out how to fix it, I think.
Cool beans.
I might be hiring half of the conversation out.
That's fine. That's okay. I guess, hey, in the very least, it'll probably take them 10 to 15 minutes. So if any of you hanging out in the audience want to go make yourself a cup of tea, go to the loo, have a cold drink, now's the time to do it, probably. We'll still be here. Don't worry. Yeah. Couldn't people abuse that to fast teleport back to a city or settlement? No, if you disconnect and then reconnect in a short period of time, you will be put back to where you previously were. You'd have to disconnect, wait a long period of time, and then yeah, you'd be fast traveled back to the settlement. So yeah, technically, a player could abuse it, but they'd have to go through the entire queue system again. And realistically, if someone was doing that over and over again, we'd see that as kind of like a circumnavigation of the rules and tell them to stop. Because it's more, you're basically robbing someone of potentially the opportunity of logistically moving something. It's like in Skyrim, if you play Skyrim in survival mode without fast travel, the game becomes infinitely more interesting, and all of the aspects of the landscape become significantly more exciting, because it's just a case of like, hey, I could teleport from there to there and I wouldn't encounter anything interesting or any challenges. But if I walk it, then suddenly there's different challenges in terms of like food. I might encounter mobs. I might find something really interesting or useful. You never know. There you go. If I log off for an hour, will I have to wait through the full queue again? Yes, you will, Jester. That, like, if you log off and go have like go have dinner and you come back, yeah, you got to rejoin the queue. Oh dear. This question is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Not really. What ad segment are you tired of seeing / hearing about? Any grievances you can air? Yeah, I dislike. I don't like finance adverts. This is a really big thing that's happening as of late, and I've been getting a lot of requests from American companies being like, "Hey, we are a bank, or we are a like financial advising thing. We'd like you to A, use our services, and B, recommend them to others." And look, unless you're a specifically trained finance creator, I'm not going to trust the guy who creates wacky video game essays to recommend me a bank, okay? If a YouTuber is recommending a bank to you, what has happened to our society?
Yeah, I wouldn't trust a YouTuber to know that kind of information unless they're specific to it. And if they actually properly explain it in a non-sponsored way, if they're sponsored, why would you trust them? They're probably just getting paid an absolute shed load for it.
It's kind of a complicated thing, because like if a tech reviewer is given a piece of tech and they're sponsored to review it, yes, they're the most qualified person to review it, and so they could probably give you the best opinion, but there's also the caveat of, oh, well, then their opinions might be changed because it is a sponsored thing. But it's a difficult thing to balance, because take like EU5, I will to an extent be reviewing it in a certain way, but I'm of course biased in that I'm being paid to play the game. I'm also biased because I will be given money by people watching me play the game, i.e. you watching adverts. And then I'm biased again because I am a massive map nerd and I love this. This is my exact kind of video game. So I'm biased in that regard. So to an extent, it's a biased advert, but it's kind of something that I'm knowledgeable about. I'm not knowledgeable about like Factor Food or HelloFresh, despite the fact that I have used HelloFresh in the past. I didn't like it, okay? I'm not going to take a HelloFresh deal. I like cooking. I love cooking too much. So yeah, maybe I could recommend a cooking product. But yeah, that's it. Oh my goodness, a cup of tea. I was just thinking I want to get a cup of tea. Thank you, Mango. You're amazing. But yeah, I don't need a food sponsorship, because I've got my amazing wife who yesterday made 2 separate soups. Can we have a round of applause for Mango, the soup goddess, making big soup? It was very tasty. It's so good. I had soup yesterday and I had soup today. Oh, dear. Thank you very much. One second, I'll just quickly mute my mic.
You're gonna die, soldier. Is the short answer. You won't be able to defend yourself. You won't be able to claim any land to protect. So if anybody else comes by, they can destroy everything. You won't be able to. I mean, unless you have a group of people with knowledge already, you're not going to have the knowledge to have enough drops in order to survive. It's just designed to prevent that kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks like the server's up. But yeah, going back to the due diligence stuff with sponsorship, like, realistically, if you're taking a sponsor, you should only really be taking a sponsor for something you understand/use, so that way you can give it a better judgment. But even then, like, there's a certain level of, like, there are creators who I 100% know did what would be recommended, the due diligence in a product, promoted it, and then it still turned out to be, bad. So I do pity the creators who kind of have that happen to them, because it is to an extent almost like just, the unluck of the draw. Capitalismed again, and the product that you recommended a few years ago has been turned into now the worst thing in existence. Yeah, so it's a complicated balance. And that server is back down again, right? Indeed it is. Yeah. Indeed nobody. It's like everyone who's sponsored by Honey. Yeah, it's a shame, because, like, Honey could have been a good product, and was for definitely a period of time on the internet, and then, of course, became not good. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I have an update.
Yeah.
Cool. We have managed to replicate the issue internally.
Yay!
Which means we probably don't need to hold people here, because we can now do it ourselves. So we can just keep repeating it until we get a fix in place, basically. Because we don't know what the fix is. That's the problem. So we can now replicate the issue, but we can't necessarily fix it yet. But yeah, so.
Thank you very much for helping us find this problem. Perfect.
Do we have any last-minute questions that people have that want to be answered before we leave?
Someone said, is there anything planned for this year's Jingle Jam OpenTD stream? There is not. Jingle Jam is usually planned in the last week before Jingle Jam.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, but also, yes, it is.
We've had an idea for a Minecraft thing for like 6-8 months now, and obviously we've been busy with Spifftopia, so we're like, we'll just wait until Spifftopia happens, and then we'll have plenty of time.
Then we'll do it. Then we'll be able to prep all in the run-up to Jingle Jam.
Yeah, no, it's we're going to be right up next to Jingle Jam as we're doing it, so I don't know how that's going to happen, but
yeah, you guys can all tap out. We'll answer some questions, but yeah, thank you very much for helping us test today. It means a lot, genuinely. The fact that we're able to repeat this and now we have the ability to solve it, it's not possible without all of you, so thank you very much. Gerard says, will there be another test tomorrow? I mean, maybe.
It depends, I think. If we feel like that we need one, then yeah, we will. So just, I think a lot of it's going to depend on time, not necessarily if we need it or not.
Yeah, definitely. Are we having a good day? I'm having a good day. I've got a nice cup of tea. You having a good day, Connor?
I'm tired.
Oh, sleepy Connor. Oh, sleepy. Sleepy. What a shame. Does breaking crops with water still work? No, it doesn't, if I remember correctly.
No, it doesn't drop anything if you break it with anything natural. Like if you push a cow off a hill, it won't drop anything. If you use water on crops, it won't drop anything.
Bash, when you die, you do get kicked from the server. Your character that you created is killed, but you're not banned. You can rejoin after a set amount of time and make a new character. What happened to the TPC? It's the PC used by Mango, my wife. She largely uses it to play Counter-Strike, and also she does QA for the channel and stuff like that. Yeah. In the first stream, will the Blacksmith Guild have an initial supply of materials? Yes, they will, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to work for a period of time, and then no one else would be able to work because their tools will break. How feasible is joining for multiple sessions? Really quite feasible. I think like this is one of those things where I think given the scale at which we're running, just consistency is all you need to join the server for each session. There definitely is a queue, but with the rate at which players die, it is feasible that you would probably be able to play multiple sessions, yes. Is Connor pregnant? No. Connor, find a way to fart on us, like routing your audio to be... No, don't do that, Connor. You couldn't find anything about Bedrock Edition. Will Bedrock players be included? No, you have to be playing on Java on PC. And there you go. Spifftopia infrastructure used for Jingle Jam. I mean, not this year. Maybe next year. We'll see. How is Master Hellish doing? He's doing good. Tony says, see you two on Sunday and say hi to Mango for me. Thank you, Tony. Means a lot. I'll pass it on. Do I like frogs? Yeah, I like frogs. I think they're cool. If a character died here, will I be able to use the same name again? 100% you will, Popov. They're just tests. Don't worry. There you go. Us filthy peasants dug a few holes in the map behind the port. You might want to fix that. No, it's fine. Don't worry. The map will be reset. It's all good. Is the F3 screen still available? Yes, it is. It's still available. There you go. Thank you for the claps for Mango. That's very nice. And yeah, thank you very much, T Junkie. That's a nice message. Dirt Stump, thank you as well, saying good luck. That means a lot. Yeah, I understand that for you guys, it might feel like you've basically just been joining Limbo for a few hours. You have no idea how valuable it is for us, because we have to simulate these kinds of things. There's just no other way. So thank you. And yeah, there you go. I think that is pretty much everything. Thank you all, everyone. Go have a nice rest of your night. If you have a question, you can drop it in the MMP Stream 0 discussions, and I'll try and get to them tomorrow. But yeah, have a nice rest of your day, guys. And bye. You want to say bye as well, Connor? Bye.